Hello, this is Lord of Yes, it is, and welcome to Epic Rap Battles of History. I could do it better, but I won't. So I was asked to react to this. Apparently, it's supposed to be really good. Thanos against Oppenheimer. I will try not to take too long reacting to things or pause too much, which basically means I will take a long time reacting to things and pause often, because I always go against what I say I'm going to do. So let's get into it. I'll give a score at the end of each round to say who scored what, and then at the end I will decide who won. So let's get into it. Looks good. Looks good. Okay, I know the budget is massive for. Just turn that down a bit. I know the budget is massive for ARB, so I'm not going to knock too hard. Of course, it don't look a lot like Thanos, but it looks good for what they've got. That's the thing about ARB. What budget they have, they squeeze the most out of it. They're actually incredibly talented, all of them. From sound to design, to picture, everything. They will take whatever they've got and they will wring every little penny out of it, or every little cent out of it, I should say, because they're American. And they'll do an amazing job. So, yeah, it might not look exactly like Thanos did with MCU, but it still looks amazing. So, well done.
Inevitable, immeasurable, inexorable, monstrous, with bars weighing on you harder than your haunting guilty conscience.
Haunting guilty conscience. Oppenheimer was the creator of the atomic bomb, or nuclear bomb, kinda, and it was dropped on two places, Nagasaki, and I can't remember the other place. And so that would be that, because when you create something like a bomb that kills hundreds of thousands of people, trust me, it's gonna weigh on you.
I am Thanos, and I crush tracks like Tesseracts in my paw.
Tesseracts, obviously, it's like a blue square that he crushes in the infinity. I think there were an infinity stone inside. Loki had it, I think.
You're a pencil-pushing Terran who never learned to love his bomb.
Why would you love a bomb?
Chemist, and on your world you were a prodigy. Well, that makes sense, because your rhymes are only hot periodically.
Clever. Periodic table joke. Yeah. It's a table of elements. So a chemist would need to know the periodic table. So there you go. By the way, just quickly, Oppenheimer was a theoretical physicist. I will tell you that. And basically that means there's another type. There's an experimental physicist and a theoretical physicist. The experimental one is the one that kind of wants to prove everything through experiment. So if you think of a wormhole, a theory of a wormhole, experimental physicists would want to create a wormhole to prove it can be done through experiment, whereas a theoretical physicist just goes with the math. And if the maths of it says, yes, it can be done, then they don't need to see experiments to prove it. They just say, yeah, it can be done. So he's a theoretical one, but he did prove himself right when it came to the atomic bomb. So there you go.
Man, I burned the Avengers down to embers, sent half your planet to be slaughtered, and now I'm off in Oppenheimer like I did to my dog.
Okay, so I'm sure you know it by now. You should know it by now anyway. So it's a bit of a spoiler anyway. Killed his daughter Gamora because he wanted the Soul Stone, and the Soul Stone you had to destroy the thing you love the most. So he killed his daughter and got the Soul Stone for it. Oh, I'm sorry, but I like that. You hear that switch up there? That's really good. Really good. I like that. Very nice switch up. Kind of slow to start with, and then you just lift it up there. It was really nice. Just go back a little way. I want to hear that again. Nice. That is clever. That's actually a very clever line, because Dr. Manhattan is a DC character from the series Watchmen. And he was basically a guy who did an experiment on himself and basically disintegrated himself. And then when he reformed, because he reformed all of a sudden, he was this blue guy who was now like a god. But the thing is, he used to walk around with dick swinging. Basically, he was naked. And so that makes sense on a lot of scales, because you've got Dr. Manhattan, the blue guy from Watchmen on that. But also, when Oppenheimer created the nuclear bomb, it was created under something called the Manhattan Project. which to start with only had a few people in it, and when it's done, like 100,000 people were working in it, and I think it cost about $2 billion to create the nuclear bomb, because they needed to make fractures and create fissile material, which is like fissile materials can sustain a chain reaction in a nuclear explosion. So it's like a fuel. It's like almost like the fuel for it, partly, in a very basic way. So so there you go. So that's clever. So that's the Manhattan Project and Dr. Manhattan. I like it. Nice play.
Hadron smashing all your atoms. Let's not collide with me when I'm.
Hadron Collider smashes things together like atoms and all this kind of stuff, just to see what happens and what they create. When it was first created, people thought it were going to create a black hole that would destroy the world. Obviously, it didn't, because we're all here still. So that's good.
Let's not collide with me when I'm riding.
Very clever, though.
Break and bleed so easy. I think I'll call you Oppenheimer.
That's clever. I can understand. I don't understand why this break and bleed so easy. There was nothing as far as I know, there was nothing in Oppenheimer's history about him breaking and bleeding easy. So I'm guessing that was something somebody thought. Hey, we can Oppenheimer. How can we fit that in? It's funny. So they created you break and bleed easily just to fit it in, because it was a funny play on his name. It is a funny play on his name. I like it. So well done.
It's impossible to top me, Oppie. You just don't have the stone. Apparently, the only thing you're good at wrecking is a home. Cause you slept with your friend's wife.
He
right
did.
There in your friend's bed, then got another married girl pregnant. You should have gone for the head.
Now, I wasn't fully sure. I wasn't going to mention that because I thought it were him, but I knew there was some infidelity in his marriage, and I didn't know about him getting another girl pregnant, married girl pregnant. Well, that gone for the head is clever on a few parts, because if he'd gone for a blowjob instead of having sex, then he wouldn't have got the married woman pregnant. And also in the movie, when Thor came down to kill Thanos and he hit him in the chest with the hammer, Thanos said, "You should have gone for the head," and then snapped his fingers. So that works on that level too. Very good. Let's go back a few seconds and carry on.
You should have gone for the head.
Listening to you.
Oh, that's nice. Very, very, very nice. They put a filter on his voice to make it so it sounds like the old microphones that we use like in Oppenheimer's day. If you look, there's some videos Oppenheimer did where he spoke about things, and that's when he said, "I am become death, the destroyer of worlds," because he was doing it on a video, and he sounds just like that. In fact, I might put a clip in just to show you, just to let you see it.
And says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds."
And then we'll carry on.
Took everything I have left. After your raps, I am become.
That's clever. Okay, that's clever. I am become death. And of course he said, I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. Which is actually a quote from a quote he was saying, if I remember right. But now he's saying I am become death, which is actually, that's a very funny play on words. I like it. Good.
You need an Iron Man for that wrinkly ass skin and that butt chin.
Clever again. So you need an Iron Man, of course. Iron Man, Tony Stark. He was the one that snapped at the end and killed Thanos in the Endgame one. But also you need an Iron Man because you've got wrinkly skin. So you need an Iron Man. And then you've got a butt chin, and that's because if you've got a line down middle of your chin that kind of separates, then they call it a butt chin. So he's got lots of little lines going down his chin, so it's a butt chin. Very clever.
Here we go now. Where's your rhythm? I thought you had the time stone.
Switch
Your
again.
punchlines sound like they came from Rhymes House.
That's funny. I like the switch up again. They did it again. Where's your rhythm? I thought you had the time stone. That's a diss at his flow. He's saying you've got no rhythm, so you've got your timing's off, so your flow is off. So he's dissing his flow. And, of course, came from Rhyme Zone. Rhyme Zone is a website you can go to that tells you any rhyme for a word. And some rappers, they will actually insult each other by saying you're using Rhyme Zone for your raps, which means you're basically using a website to tell you how to do your rap for you. Okay, so carry on. Very clever though. That's a good little
Like to give a
insult.
rhyme zone. You might be something in the MCU, but between us, who's the worst MCU?
That is very clever because of course you've got MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, and Marvel Comic Universe, and he's saying like, of course, the rappers call themselves MCs. So you've got who's you're big in the MCU, but who's the worst MC out of the two of us? Well, it's you. So that is actually an incredibly funny play on words. ERB, they're not slow. They're amazing. They're amazing at coming up with this wordplay, Dr. Manhattan thing. Then you've got the MCU, and I love it.
See, your dialogue's got too many breaks in the syllable. You talk so slow, Jack thinks you're invisible.
I like how he separated them. That was a good visual when you separate them, like splitting the atom. Also, Drax, he thinks if he moves really slow or stands still, that he'll go invisible. So he's saying your raps are so slow, even Drax thinks you're invisible.
I cause chain reactions when I'm lyrical, because I've got that fissile material.
I think I mentioned that, so yeah, that's a good one as well. He chain reaction, fissile material. So fissile material, again, can sustain a chain reaction in nuclear explosion. So, So fissile material is like a fuel, and if you look at his eyes, there's like an explosion going off in it. That's a very clever line. Well done. Enjoyed that.
Material. You were born to.
I like the background. It's showing you like this is what an atom bomb does, or when it goes off. What you're seeing in the background, that's the destruction. So because it was shown on videos before. Yes, he was born into. Thanos was born to Eternals. I've just seen that line. What's coming? He was born to Eternals, and his mother, I think, tried to kill him when he was born because they said he were evil. So yeah. And all Eternals, like as far as I know, or a lot of them, come out looking really beautiful. He's got a brother, can't remember his name, but he's got a blonde hair, blue eyes, ladies' man kind of thing. And she wants. Oh, I forgot to rate Oppenheimer's Thanos' first round. I'll give it a 7. I thought he was quite good, especially the Dr. Manhattan bit, so I'll give that a 7. Well, let's carry on.
That fissile material. You were born to Eternals, but came out looking so scary that your own mother tried to make you a temporary.
Oh yeah, kill him when he was born, like I said.
More than any man alive. Now I'm here to split you like 2 and 3 from 5.
That is an incredible level line. Because you, spelled like that, it's obviously saying uranium-235. This fucking mic's just picking up way too much. It's clipping. Let me take it down a bit more. Okay, so U is uranium-235. Uranium-235 is the isotope that they used in the bomb to help. That I think that also can sustain a chain reaction. I can't remember the small details. I'm not a chemist, but it's something like that. And it's this splitting of the atom, of course, uranium-235. It is actually really, really clever, that line. So a big round of applause for that one. Well done.
I'm a peaceful man, but I do what I must. You had an evil plan, Thanos, and it left you in the dust.
Obviously, that's to do with the Infinity Wars, of course, and all that kind of stuff. In the end, he had a plan to kill half the universe, and Tony Stark clicks and he goes into dust. But at the same time, it works out in the other way that atomic bomb, if you were basically in the path of an atomic bomb, it would, the explosion, it would vaporize you. You just become dust, basically. So.
It must leave you enraged when you compare our talents, because in this battle, there is no balance.
Okay, there is no balance. That's what Thanos used to say he was trying to do. There was too much chaos in the universe and he was trying to restore balance. So a lot of people said that he did nothing wrong. He was doing the right thing. But actually, it wasn't. In the comics, he was actually doing it to impress Mistress Death, who actually is a female character in the MCU. That's another story. But the point is, he were trying to get balance, so that's a good finish. Let me go back a second. I forgot to do it with the other one. But I'm going to have to give that a 9. That were really good punches with it was the worst MCU and all this kind of stuff. And the fissile material and Eternals want to kill you and all that kind of stuff. Very good. Very good.
No balance.
For a communist pariah, you come off as awfully cocky, but I'll make you bend the knee in round 2 like Nagasaki.
Okay, so round 2 is World War II. Nagasaki is one of the places the atomic bomb was dropped. There was a second place. I can't remember the name of it now. As soon as I can, I will put it on the screen in this part here. And, Nagasaki. So once they dropped the bomb on 2 different places, Japan basically surrendered. They realised there was nothing they could do. They didn't have a bomb equal to that kind of power. So there were absolutely zero they could do except just surrender. Otherwise, they were just going to get destroyed and there'd be nothing left. So let's carry on.
I'm the box office topper, the Marvel showstopper. Got my name on this win like it's the Thanos.
Oh, why bring Thanos cop? So in the comics, at one point they did this thing where Thanos, for all his godly powers, needed a helicopter to fly around in. So you've got this big, massive, huge guy who's like incredibly powerful, godlike, and that. And he needed a helicopter to get round. Born to Eternals. Eternals. You know, he was born to a family called Eternals, and he needed a Thanos copter to go round in. That's not helped you, Thanos. That's, if anything, that's just took you some points off.
You just got no answer for Fortnite's dopest dance.
Oh, are you trying to destroy your own rap? Yes, he was in Fortnite. Nothing to brag about. The Thanos copter and being in Fortnite are the worst flexes you could have ever done. If anything, I'm deducting you a lot of points for that. God, you only got 7. You only got 7 to 9 on first round. Okay. Anyway.
I will low-key choke you out like my name was throat cancer.
Okay, that's more clever. Loki choke you. He chokes Loki out in Infinity War and that. So he killed Loki that way. And then, of course, throat cancer. Oppenheimer had throat cancer and he died from that. So yeah, that's a good one. But the Thanos copter and the Fortnite bits already destroyed you. I'll give you. So that's yours. I'm going to give you a 4. I'm sorry, you might have got a little bit more, but the Thanos copter bit and the Fortnite now 4.
You want to talk about death? How about the one that looked at you and swiped left?
That's very clever. That's very clever. So you see, in the comics, Thanos wanted to impress Death. That's why he destroyed half the universe. It wasn't some kind of noble thing about restoring balance. He literally just wanted a girl. He basically killed half the universe for a woman. And she didn't want him. If I remember right, she wanted Deadpool. I think. She wanted Deadpool. So, yeah. So if you think about it, these dating apps where you swipe right for a date, swipe left if you're not impressed, he's basically saying that she looked at him on the phone, on app, and just basically went, nah. And swipe left, Death did on Thanos. That's very clever.
I'm the destroyer of worlds. You got your swipe left. I'm the destroyer of worlds. You got your nuts handed to you by a squirrel girl.
Oh, Squirrel Girl. Okay, yeah, I forgot about that. Squirrel Girl. She is this girl who's got a bushy tail like a squirrel, and she can speak to squirrels. And for some reason, she keeps beating these big MCU characters. Like she beat Doctor Doom and all this, and she beat Thanos. And what tends to happen is you'll see them sparring up against each other, just about to start fighting, and then something will happen, and people will get distracted and look away. And when they look back, she's kind of there posing over the body that she's beat them. So it's a bit crazy. Nobody knows how she beats them, but she beats them. So she's beat a lot of people as well. So let's carry on.
Nuts handed to you by a squirrel girl.
Very good.
In the end game now, Tinky Winky.
Tinky Winky, purple Teletubby. So purple Thanos.
A physicist like Ant-Man, all up in your stink.
Oh, that's very good as well. Yeah, they were a meme where, or people were saying, why can't Ant-Man just fly up his ass, up Thanos' ass, and just expand really quickly and kill him? And I think there were video linked to the bit I read about that, where some people had tested that or tried to work out if he could, and apparently he could not. If he did, Thanos is a bit too durable for him to get into up his ass and expand like that, so it wouldn't have worked. But yeah, I'm glad they brought it in. It's really good.
Anyone who believes that Thanos did nothing wrong crap has obviously never heard you rap. Oh, snap.
Oh, and that's an incredible finish. Incredible finish. Okay, so yeah, that would drop the mic moment there. Oh, snap. So yeah, I'm going to have to give him probably an 8 or another 9 for that. He's destroyed Thanos. That weren't even close. It wasn't close. He hit him with everything. About Death not wanting him, his mother trying to kill him, saying you worst rapper in us, you worst rapper in us, and then Thanos killed himself, beat himself up by going on about the Thanos copter and Fortnite's dancer. So I don't know. That wasn't close. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this anyway. I hope I didn't pause it too much and annoy anybody. But yeah, I think I covered everything. And if I missed anything, then please let me know. And I will see you soon. If you want to see me do any more of these, then just tell me which one you want and I will look into it. But beware, I may pause a lot. So don't ask if you don't like that. So I will leave now. Bye for now.